The Samsung Galaxy Z series has always been a head-turner, but if the latest leaks are to be believed, this year's Galaxy Z Flip 7 and Fold 7 might not bring much to the table, except of course for the Ultra version, which Samsung seems to be putting all its energy into lately. According to leaker Panda Flash Pro, the Z Flip 7 will come with 12 GB of RAM and storage options of 256 GB or 512 GB. Meanwhile, the Z Fold 7 will also have 12 GB of RAM, but will offer a 1 TB option for those who need extra space. Sounds familiar? That's because these are the exact same configurations as the Galaxy Z Flip 6 and Fold 6. The one potential bright spot is the chipset. The Z Fold 7 is rumored to feature the Snapdragon 8 Elite globally, just like the Galaxy S25 series. But the Z Flip 7? That's where things get uncertain. There's no confirmation on its chipset yet, but a previous leak pointed to the Exynos 2500, which, let's be honest, isn't exactly what we were hoping for. If you were expecting a camera upgrade, you might want to lower your expectations. According to Galaxy Club, the Z Flip 7 will have the exact same camera setup as its predecessor, a 50MP main sensor, a 12MP ultra-wide, and a 10MP front-facing camera. That's not necessarily bad. Samsung's cameras are already pretty solid, but it's a little disappointing that we're not seeing any improvements. Not all the news is bad though. There are a couple of things that might make the Z Flip 7 and Fold 7 worth considering, like the possibility of bigger displays, according to an early leak, and no expected price increase if Panda Flash Pro's info holds up. So if you've been holding out for a price drop, at least you won't have to pay more for this year's models. It's looking like another incremental year for Samsung's foldables, some chipset tweaks, maybe bigger screens, but not much else. The real question is that enough to get people to upgrade? What are your thoughts on this? Let me know in the comments section. Here's the scoop. Samsung just dropped a major bombshell this week. Starting with the Galaxy S25 lineup, every single model will run on Qualcomm's Snapdragon 8 Elite. Yep, no more juggling between Snapdragon and Exynos depending on your region. This is a pretty big shift from Samsung's usual playbook. But wait, there's a twist. The upcoming Galaxy Z Flip 7 might go in a totally different direction, rocking Samsung's own Exynos 2500 chipset instead. If the latest leaks are to be believed, it could mean some pretty noticeable performance differences. According to a trusted tipster, Jukin Losriv, the Exynos 2500 is shaping up to be a 10-core beast. It's a pretty wild choice, especially when you consider that Qualcomm and MediaTek have both ditched little cores entirely, leaving only Google's Tensor chips holding on to that design. For comparison, the Snapdragon 8 Elite features 8 cores that are all about speed, with 2 main cores hitting 4.3 GHz and 6 performance cores clocked up to 3.53 GHz. On the GPU side, the Exynos 2500 brings a 1.3 GHz Eclipse 950 GPU using AMD's RDNA 3.5 architecture, an upgrade over its predecessor's RDNA 3 tech. So how does it stack up? Early benchmarks leaked last month suggest the Exynos 2500 is just a hair slower than the Snapdragon 8 Elite. But honestly, unless you're a hardcore power user, you probably won't notice much difference in everyday use. Here's the kicker. Those benchmarks were initially tied to a Galaxy S25 Plus prototype. Samsung reportedly couldn't produce enough Exynos 2500 chips to meet the demand for its flagship S25 lineup, so Qualcomm got the nod. But foldables? That's a smaller niche market where Samsung might be able to flex its Exynos muscle. The Galaxy Z Flip 7 and Z Fold 7 are still mostly under wraps, but rumors suggest we might see larger screens and even a budget-friendly Z Flip 7 Special Edition option. However, production cuts up to 40% are being reported, so don't expect these devices to flood the market. It's clear Samsung is still figuring out the balance between Exynos and Snapdragon, but the Exynos 2500 could be their way of testing the waters in the foldable space. Will it be a game changer? Only time will tell. So what do you think? Are you hyped for the Exynos 2500, or are you all in on Snapdragon? Let's chat about it in the comments section.